Hello, everybody.
Hey, guys.
Joe here.
Kevin.
Okay, so great premiere.
It was fantastic.
I mean, from the opening, right?
Yeah.
That sequence with him running through the hallways was,
Sure.
I don't know how they did that.
Yeah, really well done. Someone said on Patreon it was a combination of CG and composite shots.
Sure.
You know, just a number of techniques.
I mean, he had to have been like, if that's CG, he had to be like on a treadmill or something.
Yeah,
at
for
some
sure.
point.
Yeah, because he was running. But yeah, really discombobulating episode for us, and I think that's a smart way to do it because we're just as we followed Mark for almost the entire episode.
Yeah.
I tried to think back. The only thing I can think of that we weren't with Mark on is when when Milchick was trying to get his computer screen fixed that still said hello, Miss Cobel.
Yeah. Mr. Milkshake.
Mr. Milkshake. But other than that, we were just with Mark the entire time. And I think he was right. You know, Mark said, you know, when everyone else showed up the second time he showed up for work, you know, after he got kicked out and then everyone else was there, he said, I think that Milchick was firing me. And I think he thought he was. Yeah. You know what I mean? We said goodbye to him and shoved him in the elevator. I think he thought it was done. And instead they just switched up and tried a new tactic. Right? Because they went from, the others wouldn't come back, to then just immediately bringing the others back. Yeah. Which meant the plan was never for them to be back at work because Mark comes out for his second time and... or how many times? At least second time. Yeah. And they're all showing up for the first time, right? They're all coming from... wherever they were, when it last ended.
I'm still I'm not convinced that this much time has passed by either. 5 months, they said 6 months, something like that.
Yeah,
I would not be surprised if it was like less than a week.
Really, I don't trust anything any information they're given at all. I trust none of it. I do. There were people because we were speculating on whether Mrs. Wong, the little girl,
I can't remember her name.
I think it was Mrs. Wong. But we were speculating whether or not she was severed, and people were like, I don't think that she is because she's management.
Yeah, somebody said something about that.
And I agree with that because, unlike Mark, she knew what her last job was. She said she was a crossing guard.
That's true.
So I do think she's unsevered, but I have so many questions anyway.
Yeah.
Why there's this, I don't know, 12? I can't tell how old anybody is.
She's got to be somebody's daughter or something, right?
Yeah, it's like, why is this little kid there? What stage of this experiment are we at where now you're bringing unsevered children in to do this?
Which is a dark thought.
Really, for sure.
But yeah, she's got to be somebody's kid or something. I mean, this whole thing is kind of family run.
Sure.
It's family business, but I just need more with Helly on the outside.
Yeah,
Audi Helly. I need to get more with that situation. Because we don't know how vile she really is. Besides the fact that she's going to keep any Helly in there forever.
I feel like she's the one we're going to get the least information from throughout the show because I think the more time you spend with her outside of Severance, with Audi Helly, the more spoiler information she has.
Okay, that's probably a good
because
point.
She is someone who knows the whole plot and is working with people who know the whole plot.
Sure.
So I don't feel like we're going to spend too much time outside with her. Audi Helly doesn't have a mystery. You know what I mean?
Not anymore.
I just mean she's not trying to solve any mystery.
Okay, sure.
The other three don't know what's going on. Yeah. She absolutely knows what's going on. So I don't see, unless it's exposition, I don't see the benefit of spending a lot of time for the audience with Audi Helly.
And I guess I said this last week as well, but I feel like it's going to be similar to season 1 where we don't get a lot of time with the Audis until halfway, maybe even towards the end of the season. Right,
where we start, again, it all depends on how much information they want to parse out. We may spend time with Audi Helly when they want us to learn something.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just don't know. But
they don't give you a ton of exposition here.
No, it's just how much information they want to give us is how we're going to figure out how the show's going to be structured. In the last episode, we got almost nothing. Yeah. Again, we hung out with Mark and are just as disoriented as he is as to what's going on. Mm-hmm. Although the only thing I can say is Mark is way more trusting of Lumen because I don't trust anything any of them were told by that video, by Milchick, any of it. I think it's all a lie.
Yeah, the Keanu Reeves video was BS.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the Cuttery's video. Yeah, that was total propaganda for their sake.
So, somebody on Patreon told us they were trying to get Obama to voice the
that's
building.
pretty amazing.
Like, it'd be amazing if they could pull that off.
That would have been really distracting, though. I wouldn't have heard a word if it was Obama doing it. I'm like, that is definitely Barack Obama.
The former president.
All right, we'll get started here. I do want to thank all of our Patreon subscribers who've been here with us. Thank you, guys. Special thank you to our super patrons: NJ, MC93, Actuarial Lurker, Anna, Bales Foldez, ZY, Jeff, Tarek Peterson, Yannick from Montreal, Sudigun Varapu, Jamie Morgan, Christy Goverston, Diana Perry, Trey Contreras, Humain Mac, Wolfgang Wolf, Lindsay Swift, Squick, Sweet Baby Silvernow, Adam Pacio, Matt Tyler, David Adler, Chris O'Donnell, Katie K, Seth Walker, Everett Nation, Doc Cooley, Taylor, and Andy Schreiber. Thanks so much, guys. Really glad you're here with us.
Yes, we are. And if you're watching us on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel. If you mind hitting the like button for us, please leave us a comment down below and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we've come your way.
Description below, link to our Patreon page, a full link to watch alongs. We are several episodes out on Patreon of where we're on YouTube on Severance.
Yep.
Miserable.
Okay, so we're back here again.
They torture us down there.
Maybe we're following someone else. Okay, good.
Oh, yeah.
Howdy, Mark.
So this is you now?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, she picked up on that quick, didn't she?
Persephone.
Can you spell that?
He doesn't know what's gone on at all. He just blanked out. They didn't put that together on this She's Alive at all, did they?
Oh, man. Really?
I was hoping someone standing there would be like, who's alive? And then look at the picture.
Yeah. Why does my head hurt?
I mean, yeah, because he probably got shoved in the elevator and now doesn't know what happened when he's out.
Yeah.
So my guess is he does fire him and then they have to get him back, and that's why only Mark was back.
I guess.
See, I don't know if she is a true believer or if she's just the company. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a difference between the cult and the company.
Yeah. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. No, it really is. Because Cobel was all the cult and not the company.
Yeah, absolutely.
It cost me dearly. And still you proved your loyalty tonight.
Yeah, I figured this is what would happen.
An apology is warranted. Scouring the feed, and I need to interview Dylan G to see how he gained access to that. We have something else in mind.
Yep, and that's how Milchick gets her job. Or stays in her job.
We fear no one.
Dang it, I was trying to read the plate.
Yeah.
It was really fast.
It looked like a picture of Kier on there.
I made the poor decision to consume alcohol while on a non-loop.
Oh my god.
Just been here.
Wonderful. And you're feeling well?
Oh, God. What did I eat in there?
Yeah, why lie about it? Well, I guess it is a map of everybody, so.
I think he's looking into it too.
Yeah.
And he's a man of principle, which is rare. Which is what makes this so difficult.
He's gonna fire him.
You're firing me.
When Lumen falters, it's our cherished worker.
That's why Mark was back and not them. They're all getting fired.
Yep.
I'm afraid we've no choice but to terminate your employment effective immediately.
I mean, that's not too far from what actually happened.
Yeah. Which sells the headache.
Yep.
This was a joke. And a lie.
I'm sorry.
So it's easy to get him back later because they just think they're getting rehired.
Yeah. They're like, absolutely, I'll come back. Yeah. But no, he's up to something,
No,
too.
he is.
Yeah.
He's on the case.
Yeah.
Has been. Because he straight lied to him about
Straight
where
up.
he was. Yep.
Obviously, I was referencing the baby.
No. You saw the picture in your hand, man.
And then when Patton found Eleanor...
Saved her, I'd still say.
Okay, whatever. Yes, you still had it with you.
Yeah.
Left her in there, or Cobel, whatever the fuck.
Right. Perhaps Cobelvig would be a helpful nomenclature?
And assuming...
I imagine you have a few questions.
Oh, you could say that.
May I sit with you?
I'm with Ricken on this one. Yeah. Hell no.
You must be Devin.
He must be a scumbag and she knows it.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
Speaking of violations, just wondering how common it is for your managers to commit fucking lactation fraud against their employees' families.
That's a good question, too.
What we learned tonight is that she is quite severely unwell.
Yeah. She lives next door to me.
Explain that, yeah.
Nor bedevil you out here any further. You've my word.
I think you can take legal action here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What your innie did tonight was completely unauthorized.
So he made the decision to only bring Mark back.
Yeah.
It was his call, too.
It was his call. Okay,
interesting.
Cool.
I thought that would have been a board decision to bring Mark back in with a new team.
Absolutely.
But it was Milchick's decision.
I like that we're getting this episode as a flashback.
So she's still just there?
Yes. That's bold.
Yeah. I would have thought they would have pulled her out immediately and moved her.
In case we don't come back.
She's like, human connection? What's that?
I cut that off in high school. I'm with you, man. I'm surprised at how rattled she is by this.
In case we don't come back.
I've never kissed anyone.
It's like, haha, your innie actually has more of a life than you do.
Yeah. Kier forbade that.
Ever since I was a kid, I've always felt like doors...
How old?
Sorry?
How old were you when you knew you loved doors?
That's a really weird question.
Yeah.
If you could be any kind of door, what would it be?
Revolving.
Right.
When you're not needed, you can just
tuck yourself away.
They look like they're related.
They do.
A lot of short-term employment. And then Lumen.
Yes.
And they make their doors in-house. It's fucking hubris.
You know, it's just me here, and I'm...
What was the George? Thanks for coming in.
Don't
Wow.
offer that information.
Because I'm severed?
Like I said, we'll consider your application thoroughly.
You're not considering me at all. That's discrimination.
You shouldn't. Okay. Mental note. Every other job interview, you lie about that.
Yeah.
It's a medical thing. You can lie about a medical thing.
It's also interesting that, like, certain people won't hire you if you're severed, you know? Like, it's kind of
controversial.
Yeah, it's controversial.
Yeah.
You remember I identified her, right?
Yes, Mark.
I saw her body.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, wow. That is why it is wild.
If we could just get like a
How does
half
that
step
work?
more confirmation, then it's not going to be something that continues to haunt us. Do you know what I mean?
Can they reanimate? I don't...
But she was my wife.
I know, but you're not the only one her death affected.
Oh, really? It affected you?
Yes.
How about her students? How about this? Did your sheets smell like her for weeks after?
Okay, dude.
But I wouldn't be affected. This is obscene.
I just want to be sure.
I am sure.
So was her body burned? Is that what he was getting at there?
I don't know. He said he identified it.
It's true.
I feel like I would have clocked that since it seems to be nothing else around. You
Yeah.
know, the car pulling up and stopping.
Yeah. And killing the headlights?
Yeah. Oh! I thought it was going to be Lumen again.
Me too. It was a menacing shot.
It was.
I think he is calling. I think he's in contact with that lady. I really do.
Yeah, I think so.
My God.
That's a gift basket from Lumen.
We got off on the wrong foot last night. Okay to talk a minute?
Yeah.
Seems like a dangerous climate to be driving a motorcycle around in.
I ask because our endearment to you is such that a 20% bump is on the table. Should you return?
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
The Mark I've come to know at Lumen is happy. He cares for people. And he's funny.
This is like when they're on the inside and they're like
Yeah.
in the...
It's like a wellness meeting.
yeah.
I hope you'll give us that time, Mr. Scout.
Okay, so one thing that Mark has is as a person, he's just too trusting. Innie and Outie Mark are both just too trusting.
Absolutely.
Dylan seems much more skeptical.
Are you satisfied with this?
His sister seems more uppity than he is.
Uppity?
5X. Really?
Oh, yeah.
To pull this together. Hopefully there will be some chemistry.
Okay, so it was not 5 months.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It seems like a couple days, doesn't it?
We need Mark S. back to work.
Go on ahead.
Long enough to complete Gold Harbor.
Gold Harbor.
Okay.
So clearly Mark is the key.
Yeah.
Mr. Scout?
Good night, Judd.
So we've gone a while then, because by now, it was only like 2 days he worked with the other team before the...
Mark S. from Macrodata Refinement. Okay, well, if you're there, please listen.
It's like a week or so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good news.
Any of us gonna quit.
Yeah, he was. I bet they don't wand down Helly when she goes in.
No.
Morning, Judd.
Yeah, Judd's like, Your Excellence.
I mean, really, yeah. I'm really surprised by this. That should just be standing operating procedure.
That's what Kier would want.
Right.
Where do you think you're going?
What do you care?
What do I care? You were in my house.
Even times you weren't there.
I ate your shitty fucking cookies. So that's it. You're leaving. Are you fucking kidding?
I'd be mad too.
Why did you do this? What the fuck is this all about?
I'm glad he's confronting her.
Yeah.
Do you know something about Gemma?
That's, yeah.
Yeah. Think she spills the beans?
No. But he knows she knows something.
Uh-huh. Yeah, she's psychotic, man.
No, yeah, she's nuts. We got
so
much more than I expected to get in that episode.
Here, yeah. All right.
I thought we were going to be later in this season.
I'm so glad.
Before we really spent any time with him outside, and that was the whole episode.
I'm so glad we did. Because that's what I've been wanting.
Yeah,
you know
for sure. Yeah, that's where so much information was.
And I bet that's the last time we get it for a while.
There's no,
yeah, right? We're going back inside.
Like, I didn't think we were going to spend any time. I mean, we didn't get any information from her, but we spent more time with Audi Helly than I thought we would.
And so Mark is key to whatever project Goldmine. Is that what it is?
It's gold something. I already forgot. I even said it so I wouldn't forget it after they did.
I think it's Goldmine.
Something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so apparently he's incredibly important to it. So much so where like they brought everybody else back.
Yeah, he's the key to whatever they're doing.
And also, like if okay, so clearly Miss Casey is Gemma,
right?
But what did he ID then? Unless it's like unless they made a body, you know what I mean?
They could have. I mean, they could have Stranger Things and made a fake body that he identified, especially if it was a burned body. You know what I mean?
That'd be easier to.
It'd be a lot easier to have it be somebody else or to fake it or whatever.
Now, what's interesting is if we are reanimating. I mean, this is a sci-fi show. Who knows? But I doubt that's the case.
I don't think that's the case, but
I don't know. I mean, like all bets are off with this show, and also Bert going to look for Irv too.
Right. Yeah.
That's also a thing.
Yeah. I don't know what got Bert because
Bert's done. Bert's retired.
Right. But he had Bert on his map.
He did.
So there's a real chance that this isn't the first time they interacted.
That's true. That's very true. And we didn't see the interaction too. We didn't see when he opened the door.
We didn't see, yeah, and I'm hoping we get that at some point.
Me too.
Because there's that gap there. We know Irving's up to something.
Yeah.
Probably the same thing Mark and Petey would have been kind of up to.
Sure. Is there a possibility that Irv was that Bert was forced to retire?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So maybe,
it was when things were getting complicated and messy between the two departments that all of a sudden Bert was gone.
Yeah.
So Bert may not have retired. Bert might have gotten fired.
Got laid off.
You want your severance. You're going to make this video that says you're retiring.
So does Audi Bert know something too? Then
he might know something, or he's there to ask because he doesn't know anything, but he assumes Irving does since Irving showed up at his door.
That's probably the case, honestly.
I mean, obviously, there's no way of knowing. This is everything is speculation. But I do think, and I'd have to go back and watch again, but I do feel like the elevator, that Mark got on and off that elevator more than 3 times. I really think it was more than 3.
I wasn't counting just because
I wasn't either.
I just assumed we were just getting the outside perspective, basically. I didn't think it was important, but I think with Balaban being there, being like, I've been here for 3 days,
right?
But that seemed way longer than 3 days,
and I think that's why he said it. I think it was like Mark's gone more than that. So, do you think that there has been a reset?
I don't know.
Anything? I don't know if Mark's gone in for 2 weeks or whatever, because let's face it, the show keeps us as lost on time as they do the characters.
Sure.
It's on purpose that we don't get much of a sense of time on this show.
Yep.
It's possible that there were I can't remember one of the contingencies when they were doing the overtime thing on the list,
clean slate
or something like that. It's possible
they reset them,
that they just reset Mark. You know what I mean?
But does that make them have to start over?
Well, they couldn't reset him
because he still has memories.
Because he has memories of of
being out
of his team and everything.
Yeah.
So no, they did not reset him, unless there's like because you had the elephant and the goldfish options too that might allow you to erase certain memories.
Yes,
because to me a goldfish option that they have means I think you can take out memories on the chip.
So
right?
maybe they were just kind of trimming.
They may have just blanked out some of his more recent memories.
Because whatever he's working on, if they did clean slate him, they'd probably just have to start over.
They have to start over completely, right?
Yeah,
If you clean slate him, that means it's more like Helly when we saw her at the beginning of season 1, where you're back on the table and you don't know anything. You have to relearn like you don't even know who you
feelings
are, the building
for the numbers, or
everything.
Whatever.
You've got to completely relearn that you're at Lumen.
Yeah.
Mark obviously didn't go through that, but it's possible they trimmed a little.
Maybe.
If he's gone in much more than that,
Maybe.
then we had a little trial and error, a Groundhog Day a little bit, to where it's like, okay, we just start over.
Yeah, and it's really interesting so I literally assumed that like Audi Mark was like fully up to speed, was like, oh my god, she's alive. Like,
I couldn't think of any other reason for him to go back, and I think now he is. Not initially, not when we thought he did.
I think after
after this confrontation with Selvig, or Cobel, or whatever her real name is, probably Cobel.
What were they calling her? Colvig?
He called her
on the outside.
Cobelvig. I think something like that is what Ricken said,
Yeah.
which I think is pretty smart.
That helmet is spectacular.
But I think now that's Mark has the indication that his sister's probably right. That there's stuff he doesn't know about. About the Gemma,
and they're being watched by a very scary man.
Yeah, that guy
with a frolic tattoo. That's what his hand said.
He said frolic. Yeah. When they first showed the tattoo, I was like, "Does one of our characters have a tattoo on his hand that I don't know about?" And then it cut to him. I'm like, "Okay, this is a new guy anyway."
Yeah,
he's probably going to end up getting murdered at some point, kind of like Grainer did.
He might do some murdering. Who knows? Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, no, he's obviously very scary.
And then so also it's really interesting too to see that like Helly obviously has some status there, but at the same time, not really. Yeah, I mean, like she's like on the board and everything, but like, I'm assuming she's not on the board, but she's.
Well, I mean, her dad owns the company, is CEO.
So there you go. But like,
she's in the line of succession. She's going to be running the company.
But also, shots are being called around her. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And she's very. Her dad's disappointed at her. Like when he walked up real close to her, that was really creepy.
Yeah, I feel like her dad calls all the shots, and so she just has to go along with what her dad says.
Absolutely.
So I think, which probably means all the decisions that are above her head that are getting made, are getting made by him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like I don't think Milchick gets to tell her anything.
It might have been his idea to put her in there in the first place.
It could have been, Like Milchick can make suggestions and like, here's where we are, but I do think that any call that's being made to boss her around or make her do things is probably coming from her dad.
Well, that shot of her when she was watching the tape of her kissing Mark for the first time, and like we kind of pan out to see her alone in that building. Yeah. She almost looked like a bird in a cage.
For sure.
And clearly doesn't have human interactions.
No, that really rattled her a lot.
It did.
Like
she kept rewatching it.
Wow, my Innie is able to make human connections that I, who have lived in this body for 30-something years, have not been able to make.
Yeah. So that I think, I don't know how much time we're going to spend with Audis, but like I would like to explore that some more, because I think it's a compelling character. It really is.
Oh no, she's a very compelling character. Obviously, she's Donald Trump Jr.ing it a little bit, trying to make Daddy happy.
Sure,
that runs the company a little. And I feel like that's why she's so like at his beck and call. But there's a scenario when we saw that where she gets rattled enough from the whole situation to where being on this track of her father's becomes unpalatable to her. You know what I mean? Like, because like I said, I was really stunned with how much her kissing Mark really seemed to. That's the first thing that shone like a crack in her at all.
Yeah. Well, these are really weird people, so I mean,
they're all very weird people.
Can you teach me how to be a person?
I mean, like I was looking at some of these people, like not just Cobel, but for sure, but like the other people at the table in the board meeting and stuff. I'm like, I don't know if you guys are going to end up dead or in jail, but I hope one of those two things happens to all of you.
All of them, man. Like, they're so evil.
They are terrible.
And same for Milchick. I mean, Milchick.
No, he was at that table. He's terrible.
Okay, yeah. And it's also like I like that we saw his perspective too, because like, you know, obviously he took initiative there,
right?
And they rewarded him. He's in charge of stuff now.
Yeah. You know how I said I thought the revolving, you know, when they were talking about dad, the creepy freaking dad.
Yeah.
And I was like, is that a possibility that what the end game is with the chips is you could just move into another body?
Maybe.
Do you think that's what Mark is? Do you think Mark's his
like a get out situation?
Like Mark, Mark is his landing spot, and that's why it's so important for Mark.
So
and Mark specifically.
Because I keep thinking about that, and I do think that maybe what the number is, right? Like they're just kind of flushing out emotions.
Something they have an emotional reaction. I do think it is refining the chips to be more in control of different centers of the brain, and in microdata refinement, they're dealing with emotional centers of the brain, right?
So maybe, but also it would not. I would not be surprised if Mark is going to be
Mark's
her dad. But with Gemma, is there a possibility there's somebody else inside Gemma?
It is always possible.
You know what I mean?
Because when they said you're going, when they put her back under or whatever that means.
Yeah.
Because didn't we see a flash at the end of the premiere this season?
We did.
Like at the computer, like we see her.
But it was reversed. Yeah.
It was reversed. So she's watching Mark on camera.
Yeah.
She could be somebody else right now. They could have just plugged something else or told her she was somebody else.
Yeah.
And is there to monitor Mark, kind of in the same way she was as Wellness, but not without them having an interaction.
Totally.
Because she can't have an actual interaction with Mark now because Mark knows.
Exactly.
But she doesn't.
She has no idea.
Yeah.
And I do want to see more of the testing floor too.
Yeah,
or actually, I want to see the testing floor because we haven't seen it at all, really, except for the doors.
I have a dumb question that I was going to bring up too. When we kept seeing everyone going into the elevators to go to work?
Yeah.
I always assumed they were going up.
Up the stairs?
Right. They were going upstairs.
Yeah.
All of the arrows when they got in the elevator were pointing down.
Yeah.
Every one of them. Now that could mean, because different buildings, different setups.
Sure.
That can mean that it was coming down to pick them up and then goes back up, but the arrow never switched to up. So is it possible that the floor they're actually working on, because there's no windows, there's nothing, they're actually buried way underground?
That's true.
You know what I mean?
They could be deep underground.
They could be. I always assumed they were up because when they showed the staircase, it looked like and then they're trying to go the staircase. But
yeah,
that also that might just be lighting instead of windows.
You could have so much stuff underground, it's a secret underground bunker.
I mean, really, they could just be bunkered up
because it's huge down there.
Right.
I mean, the building's obviously it's a big building.
The building's massive, but all of the more nefarious things they're doing, like the severed floor, all could be buried.
I mean, O&D alone, if you look at that, Bert's department, that's a pretty big room,
and they were all on the same floor.
Yep. Yeah.
The goats, the whole severed floor, they're all together.
I think it is underground. I think you're right.
And it feels. I'd always just assumed from the beginning of the show, probably because of the staircase, that they were going up somewhere.
Sure.
And instead, it's looked like they were getting the elevator and heading subterranean.
That's probably what's happening. They probably go upstairs and then you just drop right back down. You know what I mean? And it's probably an underground maze down there.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that makes sense. To kind of hidden away.
Well, now I'm trying to think in the first season, whenever Helly tried to break out and she cut her arm.
Yeah.
There was a staircase there.
There was a staircase.
And was it leading up? I think so.
Well, it was both. The staircase.
Okay, it was both. Yes,
they were just on a staircase. I assumed there was natural lighting there, but I'm like, no, because they never see the sun. It would have just been lighting in the staircase.
It absolutely has to be underground.
It's got to be underground.
Because now I'm thinking about the whole perpetuity wing.
Yeah.
And the weird house in there. There's an underground society there, man.
Yeah, and I'm sure the testing floor is down there somewhere too.
Oh God, it's so creepy. That is such a dark, creepy implication there, man.
Absolutely.
Ugh.
All right. Well, I have
a million more questions.
Just like every other time we watch this, we get a lot of answers that lead to 10 times as many questions.
Yeah.
And I'm confident that 99% of the things we're speculating on, as always, are completely wrong.
And I want them to be. I really
want
do.
them. I love the surprise of it.
Me too.
Going in, I'm like, there's no way we're going to see the Audis for quite a while. It's like, oh, we're spending the whole episode with them.
Here we go.
I love the surprise of it. I appreciate it, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much.
See ya.